Can you hear us, ma'am?
Morning, sir. How are you?
Well, and how are you? How was your weekend, ma'am Xtensive?
It was
Did
good,
the
sir. How
weekend
was
go
yours?
well? It went okay. Bafana, the South African team
Yeah, it
didn't
was
win,
good.
but yeah, we survived. We survived. Yeah. Colleagues, I've invited Mr. Ndlela to help us with the portal, and to save his time, I'm going to just ask him to take over from here right away. So colleagues, please follow his guidelines and submit your assessment on the portal. I've previewed your assessments and I think they can go into the portal. We did incredibly well. So let's put them in. Let's put them in. Over to you, Mr. Ndlela. So colleagues, let's follow his guidelines and put it in on the portal.
Sorry, mistakes. Can you see my screen? I think I tried to share my screen. I'm not sure if you can see it.
I can see it. Colleagues, can you see Mr. Ndlela's screen?
Not yet.
Okay, let me try and
Mr.
reshare.
Ndlela, if you can stop and reshare, yes, please.
Okay, is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, good morning, guys. Good morning to everyone. I'm just gonna take you through the portal in terms of logging in and submitting on the portal. So, if you already have logged in and you have a password to log in on the portal, you do not now need to every time go to the link that was sent to you initially to log into the portal. So you go to your Chrome and just type Xtensive portal or Xtensive ICT Academy. So I just typed Xtensive portal, and then you click on this first link here, Xtensive ICT Academy. This is on Google Chrome, by the way. You can also use any other Chrome. And then when you've reached the home page, and then you click sign in, and then this is where you will add your credentials and you will then click login. So if I'm going too fast, feel free to step in and ask me to slow down or to repeat anything you feel you're not clear on. Okay, so from here, you'll go to e-learning portal, then you'll go to courses. And this is where you will find your course, which is the Excel course. And this is where you'll find your learning material, your learner guides, your assessments, and right underneath you'll see there's an assessment submissions tab that you will use to submit your assessment on. So you'll click on this icon. It usually has the trophy icon. So you click there, and then you click start now. And you'll now move to start. Then it will ask you a few questions. It's, are you ready to submit? If you are ready, you click yes. Your assessor's name, I think we would use Mr. X or Mr. Kola. I mean, okay. And then if there are any attachments you need to add, you'll then click choose a file, or in this case, choose files. So you are able to upload multiple files at the same time. So if it is just one file, you just click once and then it will show itself here. Sorry, am I speaking softly? Can everyone hear me?
I can hear you. I'm just waiting for the colleagues to say we have submitted now. Ma'am Eddie says she heard you as well. Ma'am Spiwe, Ma'am Monde, can we quickly attach and submit? Are you able to follow the instruction?
Okay. I just had a few saying that they can't hear me very clearly, so I'm trying to speak closer to the mic. So I have the mic literally on my lips. So after you've selected the file, you'll then click open to attach the file, and then you'll see it here. If there are multiple files to be added, you'll click on the first one, and then you'll hold the control button on your keyboard, and then you'll click the second one. As you can see now, there's two files attached. But that's in a case where you need to attach two files or to upload two files on the portal, depending on the assessments that Mr. X has given you. So in this case, I think you'll just need one, and then you click open. Once you have attached that file, you'll then click submit, and you would have submitted that document. Once it shows you this message, it's thank you for the submission. Then you are done submitting, and it shows the number of attempts left, which is 2. So I don't think you'd need to use all three attempts if you got the right documents on the first try. So make sure that when you're uploading the right documents, so you don't need to resubmit 8 documents. Okay, so once you're done with that, you are done submitting. Are there any questions for me?
I think you should ask the question, colleagues, or Mr. Ndlela, and say, have the colleagues submitted now? And please check, say, if you can see their submissions as well on the portal. The colleagues, we are submitting the assessment here. So please, 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 Mr. Ndlela wants to see it show up on the portal. So Mr. Ndlela will go to the back end and start seeing your assessments coming in.
I see there has been a submission from Ms. Refilwe. So I think I will stop sharing my screen now, mistakes, and you can take over, sir.
Okay. Colleagues, we are waiting for more. Please check the chat, Mr. Ndlela, and input from Miss Eddie. Miss Eddie, if you can please share screen. Mr. Ndlela will guide you on how to enable that button. I'm thinking you're not enrolled. So if you can, please share screen, ma'am. Eddie? Oh, something is coming up.
So are you able to see it?
Yes, something is coming up, ma'am. Yes, there we go.
Okay.
See here,
Okay. Already the first problem I can
it's
already see.
it's not blue, so it's not letting me click on.
Miss Charissa. I don't know if you can hear me, but if you look on the top right hand corner, you see that you are not signed into the portal.
Eddie?
Sorry, I'm back. The network went off. Let me just share it again.
Thank you, Mr. Ndlela. Let's try again.
Yes, Miss Eddie.
Yes.
If you look on the top right hand corner, next to contact us, you'll see that you are not signed in on the portal.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, does that work for you, Ma'am Eddie?
Yeah, I'm just gonna submit now.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Ndlela, how many submissions? Okay, we are going to make it easy. Mr. Ndlela, please tell me who has not submitted. Ma'am Refilo has submitted. Please raise your hand, Ma'am Refilo, that I know who has not submitted. And Ma'am Martha, please confirm where you stand.
My mother is still in transit.
Does that mean she has logged into the portal? Are you able to see? Maybe we can even use this time, Mr. Ndlela, to check what we can see on the portal. Are you able to see if Memata is logged in, Memonde is logged in?
Memonde has submitted. Miss Eddie has submitted, and Miss Rafida has submitted.
Now we're waiting for Mems Piwe.
Yes.
Mems Piwe, where do you stand? Memata, where do you stand? Mems Piwe, please let us know. Where do you stand?
Good morning, Mr. X.
Morning, Mem Paski. See, Mr. Ndlela, this is what I was telling you. Now, Mem Spue is a
How are
voice
you,
of
sir?
Mem Paski.
Yeah.
How are you, Mem Paski?
Mr. X, I'm okay. How are you, sir?
I'm cold.
You'll be fine, sir.
You have not submitted lane, Mem Paski.
Yes, I'm going there. Mr. X, my question is, remember on the last session that we had, you said we should submit our work directly to you, and then you are going to check if you are happy with whatever that we have submitted, and then if there's anything that you would want for us to correct, you will let us know.
Correct.
So are
So
we now
I've
starting
received.
the assessment as
Yes.
Mr. X?
So having received your email starting from Friday until today, that's why I say now let's put it in on the portal. I'm happy with your initial submission. Yes. All right. Now, this is also your question is pertinent and important so that I'm able to get your correction submitted through the portal again, Ma'am Pascaline. That's why I was showing you how to submit here. Yes.
All right, sir.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, sir. Sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am Monde, please raise your hand. Yes, Ma'am Monde, raise your hand. Mr. Ndlela, you said Ma'am Eddie has also submitted, right?
Yes.
Ma'am Eddie,
Yes,
please
sir.
do raise your hand. I want to know who's missing a submission.
I'm raising my hand too.
Yes, Miss Monde's hand is that you can see here in the office.
No, she must raise it on Teams, not in the office. I can't see it in the office.
I'm confirming
Oh,
that
she was
you can see it.
raising.
You are raising the wrong hand, Ma'am Monde. No.
The wrong hand.
When you're using your physical hand,
I was busy studying as well. Thank you for the submission. I just submitted.
well done.
There's a celebration. Miss Andretta has submitted.
Yes. But I'm confident.
Mr. X, can you help Miss Pure? She is not confident.
With one answer.
Yes,
Miss Charissa, I think Miss Spiwe will be coming to your session. She needs some confidence.
My network keeps disconnecting me, but I.
No problem. You can always come through.
Okay. Who is missing, Mr. Ndlela? Who are we missing?
Ma'am Mata hasn't submitted yet.
Okay, Ma'am Spirit,
Miss
do you
Beach
mind
as
picking
well.
up the phone and maybe just ask her how she's coping? Can you please kindly call her for us? Ma'am Pascalina, Mr. Ndlela, has Ma'am Pascalina submitted?
Ma'am Pascalina hasn't submitted as well.
Why is she not showing a hand here? She has not raised her hand in the session. Okay. Ma'am Spiwe? We're just waiting for your update, ma'am. Mr. Ndlela, are you seeing any new submissions?
Yes, sir. There's currently, let me just confirm, Ms. Pascalina has submitted.
Okay. Ma'am Spiwe, we're waiting for feedback on Ma'am Martha.
Mr. X, Mamata went back to crash, so she said that her screen is, her computer is blocked. Her computer is stuck. She's trying to reboot it and then try and resend. So we are not with her. We not sure what's going on.
How do we follow up on her? Are you not able to call her?
We talk
You say
through WhatsApp.
her computer is off. Is it blocked? How is it blocked?
It gets stuck. Yeah, sometimes it gets stuck, like while she's working, and then it just turns blue. This time it turned yellow. Sometimes it turns white. And then she has to switch it off and then switch it on again.
Okay. Okay. Now, I think what we can ask Mr. Ndlela, would you be able to check what the issue might be? Or perhaps check with Mr. Mkize if he can assist Ma'am Martha maybe during the course of the day.
All right, Mr. X, I'll try and send Mr. Mkize there.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you, colleagues. So I think the initial submission is in. So what I'm going to do here is perhaps I'm going to share feedback on what I've received from you guys, and the feedback that I'm giving here doesn't necessarily mean it's the same for all of you colleagues, but I want you to understand when I give you feedback on the portal, the same area where you were now, you'll see another line of an attachment, and that will come from my end. You'll download that file and then you will do remediation on that. But I think maybe before I get there, one of the things we've got to look at is, if you remember, we agreed we have to pass this assessment to move on to the next one. What do you guys recommend we do? Should we mark this assessment and decide from my side, or should we do corrections on the first and initial submission, resubmit before we move on ahead? What do you guys recommend we do here?
Let's finish with this one and then we move from there.
Finish with this one, how, man?
I think you're saying Horo, you want to mark, so Mark can give us feedback, and then from there you'll decide if whether we are ready to move on to the next thingy or Jan. Are we getting our certificates on this one on Jan?
Okay. That's Ma'am Refilo's input, colleagues. What do you colleagues say? So, Ma'am Refilo, you'll notice I'm thinking around it because the first submission for others will come with corrections to be done, which means there'll be some wrong answers. Should we submit that as the final submission or should we do corrections? I think that's where you didn't answer me, ma'am. But I'm asking the question to everyone so that we know what will happen next. Remember, for example, I think I think I did not mention this, but I think we need to set a passing mark of about 70%. Then we can go to the next aspect. And the next aspect will be intermediate, MS Excel intermediate. Ma'am Martha is calling me on my phone. Morning, Ma'am Martha. Okay, I think she was trying to type a message, but she called me by mistake. All right, now let me share what will happen then, colleagues. Let's agree that you're allowing me to mark the first assessment and give your mark. I've marked a few of these assessments, and I think the reason I'm able to say let's submit on the portal is because we did generally well. But I'm going to share my screen and you guys will see where we sort of lost the track or where we sort of went off ramp. And again, I repeat, so this is not going to be something that goes unanimous across the floor for everyone. Some of us got it right and some of us didn't get it right. Now, I think as well, whilst we're here, let me start by thanking Mr. Ndlela and releasing him. But before he leaves, Ma'am Monde, please lower your hand. Ma'am Carissa, please lower your hand. Ma'am Spua, please lower your hand. Ma'am Refiller, please lower your hand. Thank you, Mr. Ndlela, for assisting us to submit, and thank you, colleagues, for submitting on the portal. Mr. Ndlela, sir, we appreciate your time, and I think we can release you, sir. We can release you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
I thank you,
Mr.
sir. If you
Mkhize,
can, please just check on Ma'am Martha or send a delegate to go and check on Ma'am Martha. I'm not sure what technically
Yes,
she's battling with. So if you have a
yes,
moment.
Mr. Mkhize is on his way.
Okay. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. Because I'm not seeing her in class here. All right.
Yeah, Mr. Mkhize is on his way.
Okay. Thank you, sir. No, have a lovely day, sir. Please wear jersey and drink a lot of coffee.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Where is my screen now? Let's find my screen. Learner guide. Where is my learner guide? Okay, that's my learner guide. Forgive me, colleagues. I am looking for my assessment. And whilst we're here, colleagues, tell me why you were copying from each other. Tell me, colleagues, why you were copying from each other whilst we are here.
Mr.
Whilst we are here. Just a second.
You trust yourself with us.
Just a second, colleagues.
How, Mr. X?
Yes, Ma'am Pascalina copied. Yes.
Oh, say.
Ma'am
See, now we had a
Pascalina did
question
copy.
of whatever that you taught us.
Yeah.
So, well, what you see is what you get, say. What you teach is what you get.
colleagues were caught red-handed. Red-handed. And to hide your red-handed copying, what you did was you then decided to not join the class as Pascaline. Now you're talking as Mems Piwe, confessing that you copied Mem Pascaline. Caught red-handed. Caught
Sir,
red-handed. But I can hold Mems
Mr.
Piwe accountable because you are speaking through her microphone. So let's say it's Mems
Um,
Piwe that copied and admitted.
Sir, you know the reason why we're doing this is because when we have multiple devices all joined in at the same time, there's an echo of some sort. So we are avoiding that.
No, it's okay,
Hence,
ma'am.
we
I
opted for this.
understand very well. But now I'm saying
Yes,
for the
yes,
sake of the assessment, we've
yes,
we've
Mr. X.
we've got Mem Spue as the guilty party. She's talking as Mem Pascaline, as Mem Refilwe. She's talking as everyone. So she's the one who's copying. Let's put it like that. Let's put it like that.
Definitely. This one.
I was silently looking for my assessment. So all of you guys can blame Mems Pure. You can say Mems Pure said it. The recording is only showing Mems Pure did it. So it doesn't say Mem Pascalina said anything. I am looking for my assessment, colleagues, and I don't like seeing, I'm only seeing the memorandum. So I walked to the other side just now when I said, please give me a second. And I wanted to find the list of questions. Now I have your answers and I don't have my own questions. That's unfair. So I found the memory stick. Now I need to find the file. Okay, file has now been found. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen, and whilst I share my screen, colleagues, I'm going to ask you to please take note, and I repeat again. The fact that I'm saying these things and I'm asking you to correct these things the way that I'm asking is not necessarily saying all of you did make the same mistakes, but it's basically to say in general, and this I say so that we can watch it as well with the upcoming assessments, which are for intermediate and advanced. I don't like it when technical issues hit me. I don't like it when technical issues hit me. I've clicked on my assessment now. It is showing me that winding circle. Right. Now, very importantly, maybe whilst I wait for the winding wind to wind, turn off whatever that is. I don't know. I'm looking for my assessment. I had it just now. I opened it. Okay, let me reopen it. It's not opening. Right. So, colleagues, the first note is please submit all your assessments in MS Word. The reason for that is I do need to be able to insert ticks and mark and add some comments to your assessment. So please do submit it in Word. If you submit it in PDF, then I can't mark and I can't add my comments there. I can't add my comments there. Right, found it again, opening it. Okay. Right, I'm going to share my screen. I'm waiting for this one to finish, not that one. Okay, we're making progress. Finally. Okay. Right, can you colleagues see my screen? Can you colleagues see my screen? So you can open the same assessment on your side. It's the same assessment, and I'm going to go page 1, page 2, all the way to the very bottom. It shouldn't be a difficult one. All right. I'm trying to think what is the best thing to do. Give me a second. Let me rather share my full screen. Okay, so I want to show you guys all. I'm happy in this session. I can say you ladies. I'm going to share screen. Okay, so if you look at what the assessment is asking for here, colleagues, the emphasis I have, and I'm not going to go through all the questions, right? But the emphasis I have is for me to be able to determine competence or not yet competent, I need you colleagues to please help me with showing me the formulas. So if you recall in our session, what I asked for example, this question asks you to add or total all these assessments, and then it asks you what is the total here. So for me to be able to sort of determine competence, I need you colleagues to click on this cell and then be able to show me which formulas you are adding there. So this is what I'm hoping you guys can show when the question says, what is the answer in this cell? So do not highlight all the cells, but rather click on the cell with the formula. So I can see the formula and I can see the cells that are being referenced. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
That is one. Two, I ask colleagues that you take a screenshot of your full window. So for example, and I am joking, by the way, I hope you guys do note that I am joking. For me to be able to determine you are the one doing this, colleagues, I will ask that you take a screenshot of the top part of your document. So you'll see here, I used Miss Beach as the name of the file. So your screenshot, I'm going to take it here. So you'll see, did you see that, colleagues? I'm going to try and paste it here. So the important aspect is I need you colleagues to please note, I need to see the name and the answer. So here you'll see, I'm looking to see what is the total here. So you can tell the cell that is clicked is A4. The formula in cell A4 is that, but I can also see who the owner of this question is. And all these details are critical and key. I'm going to delete that. There's another question that asks you to delete or rename the tab at the bottom. So you can rename it. I think it wants you to rename it to calculations, right? So once you've done that, you create your screenshot once more. And then what I'm looking for, still show me the name at the top, your file name at the top. It shows your name. So something similar to that. I make it look easy, I know, but I'm doing it so you guys are able to ask me, hi X, how did you manage to achieve that? So your screenshot, the important thing is, please have it show the answer that I'm looking for is you are renaming the sheet at the bottom, right? And I'm admitting that it's a lot of work reducing this screenshot. But if you can see on my answer here, I can see the tab was renamed. I can also see the name at the top, and that's how my screenshot looks. Make sure I've got the answer. And again, you'll see as well at the top the file name. So at other times, they always say, want to see the date and time when you did this, but for this assessment, I will not insist on that. Am I making sense, colleagues? Any questions for me? Okay, I'm hearing silence. I'm hearing the silence here. I hope the silence means we're okay. I hope the silence means we're okay. Okay. I'm going to move on to that one.
Mr. X,
Yes, ma'am. Someone is
Mr. X,
calling me.
when you do your screenshots, can you please try it? Yes, it's me. Mr. X,
Can I do what?
when you do your screenshots, please please paste them on the question paper, not on your
Question
your
paper.
Excel.
Okay. So I'm going to paste them here.
Yes, please.
So name 2 examples of a screenshot program. Why would you save? I'm looking for a question that says paste your screenshot there. Here is the table, and I think that's what's causing problems. That's why I'm saying paste on the assessment itself. Ubona ukuthi see what happens when you paste them. Where is my screenshot? And I agree, this is where the problems lie. Where is my screenshot? I think this is it. Am I right? Am I right? Is this my screenshot? Okay, so I'm going to say tight on this one. And I'm going to say in front of text. So that's my screenshot. And I agree with you. That's why I admit this screenshot story is a bit of a problem. But you will see I've pasted my screenshot and I'm expanding this table here so that my screenshot can fit in there. Do you see that? Do you see that, colleagues? So my screenshot now sits there. And the other aspect that I'm showing you is you can basically place this as tight, or you can change to something that works for you and make sure that you're able to paste your screenshot correctly there. Right? Am I helping, Ma'am Spiwe? Am I helping, Ma'am Spiwe? Okay. So then they say add totals for each column. The other aspect I want to make sort of emphasis on reading terminology. So if you see here, they say add totals for each month and columns respectively, right? So here again, the going to scroll up, right? From here, you'll see they're not asking for columns. So basically, you're going to add all your totals at the bottom. I think for this spreadsheet, you will see here, the columns are here, goes all the way down in that fashion. And importantly, what you get is then a row that you've got to add that will speak to the columns there. Now, the reason I mention this is because it changes what your spreadsheet looks like. It changes what your spreadsheet looks like. I hope I'm making sense there, colleagues. It definitely changes what your spreadsheet looks like. So some of you look like you are worried about what your spreadsheet looks like. So I'm saying definitely do not be perplexed. Your spreadsheet will change in terms of shape and form. I hope I'm making sense, colleagues. Right, I think I've shown an example of this one. The title that needs to go with that one is the other one. Then I'm going to try and move on to this one. And then in terms of the alignment, and I will admit and confess on this one, I feel that maybe I should have shown you a little bit more on what was or what other options you had. So I'm going to click on this little arrow. Do you remember what this little arrow does, colleagues? And to expand it. So other colleagues basically took a screenshot of the final result, and I'm happy with that. And then other colleagues look like they're battling to show what they've done on that one. Excuse me. And by the way, if you remember, I did say to you colleagues, you don't necessarily need to do everything in one screenshot. And if you felt you wanted to put more screenshots, you are allowed to put in more screenshots. right? So the request here was you make the font a specific size. You'll see the font style is here, the font size is here. And then as well, I think you were requested to work on alignment. So you can take 2 screenshots here to show what you did on your alignment. So most of you were here and then you came back. Let me set an example. You guys managed to do this, and most of you then took a screenshot of the final result. Now, some of you were battling to show how do I show the 2 screenshots, or how do I show that I've done everything. So I'm simply saying you are allowed to paste 2 screenshots. So you can take a screenshot of this aspect. Again, similar scenario, show the name of the file at the top, show this whole window, and show your tabs as well at the bottom. Then you go back to your assessment. If you are required, I say paste a screenshot here, but you could have pasted 2 screenshots here, right? I hope I'm making sense. I hope I'm making sense. And again, notice how I'm working on my screenshots here. Notice how I'm working on my screenshots here to make sure that they work. Hey, no Teams winner. Come back to this corner. Click there, make it tight, and then I always insist, make it in front of the text. Do you see what it does? Then the screenshot becomes visible. So I always make sure I select tight, and I always make sure I select in front of the text. I play around with those two and make sure I see what I'm looking for, or I see exactly what I'm looking for. Now I'm able to drag my screenshot on my screen here, and I'm able to then sort of reduce it as much as I can. And I always say, don't try and make it too small, right? But here, I want to make sure I've got ample space. So I'm going to click enter, and I'm going to expand my table. Similar scenario there. Hey, expand. Doesn't want to expand. Let me see if I can expand it from there. Okay, I'm going to click enter here. And these techniques, I think some of you will have learned from your experience with Microsoft Word, right? Basically expanding my table there so I can enter 2 screenshots. Did I expand it at the wrong corner now? Where was I supposed to expand it? Okay, I think it was supposed to be here, so I expanded the wrong column, but it's fine, or the wrong row, but it's fine. All I needed to show was how do you enter the 2 screenshots here. So my screenshots are there. I'm adding the second screenshot now. Again, you'll see I'm saying in front of text. I want to see how big that screenshot is. So I play around with my in front of text. I reduce my screenshot. Where's the other one? That's a sister to this one. And then I put my screenshot there. So I feel like my screenshots are not visible. So I expand my table a little bit longer. Of course, Mr. X makes it look easy. It is not that easy. I can bet on it. Mr. X makes it look very easy. So you'll see I'm putting my other screenshots at the bottom right, and I'm going to be able to expand this at the top left. So if you want to put 2 screenshots, there you go. Memspue, am I solving the solution or the problem for you? Memspue, colleagues, am I solving the issue of screenshots for you? Again, please remember what I'm asking of you. I'm simply saying, please always make sure you try and illustrate your answer vividly. So here you'll see I took the screenshot after doing the task and finishing the task, just to make sure that we are answering the question and addressing it nicely there. Okay. I'm talking alone again. I get worried when I start talking alone. Let me check. Am I still in the session? You might find I'm talking alone because colleagues have left. Colleagues, are you there?
Yes, sir, we are here.
Am I making sense?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Screenshots. Were you battling to paste the screenshots?
Yes, sir.
What are you eating, Ma'am Pascaline?
No, I'm not eating anything. My mother was on the line. I'm not eating anything. I haven't even had breakfast.
Why? Hukum? Hukum?
I'll have it
Hukum?
later. Immediately.
That is fine. So, colleagues, that is my feedback in terms of your assessment for now. That is my feedback in terms of your assessment for now. So I will still mark and I will still give you relevant feedback. So all of you will still see submissions from me that will speak to what you need to sort of understand or what you need to correct on your assessment. But I did a quick check. I think I received most of your assessments on Friday, so I sat with them on Saturday, and I managed to sort of respond to some of your emails this morning. I think some of you will have seen my responses, and I did say I will check them, and if I'm happy with your submissions, I did say we'll put in your submissions on the portal. So that's what I have done this morning. Do you think you'll be able to submit on your own without Mr. Ndlela's guidance? Going forward, that is? So when I send you the feedback now, will you be able to resubmit or do corrections and submit again on your own? When colleagues are quiet, then I get very concerned. When colleagues are quiet, then I get very concerned.
Mr. X.
Yes, ma'am.
Mansfield has gone to Mama Saze, so I won't be able to speak for her and others. But
why has she gone to Mama during class?
Mama is struggling, Mr. X. You know this thing is frustrating her. Like honestly speaking, it's not nice. It's not nice. I feel like she's under so much pressure, you know. And as much as we're trying to help, but yeah. On Friday, she didn't do anything, Mr. X. She couldn't even eat. So it's bad.
Okay. I hear you. I will catch up with her after this session. I see she sent me a few messages. I haven't been able to look at them. Yeah, I will check the messages she sent. All right. You wanted to speak. Okay, who else were you speaking for? Mem Spiwe and who?
Mem Monday.
I'm listening.
Monday. She's also saying that she'll be fine to do the corrections and then resubmit.
How does she know she's got corrections?
I'm joking, mistakes. She says she's comfortable with submitting. So the submission part, yeah, number one.
Okay. Awesome stuff.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Oh, Mamata has submitted, say. Yeah.
Mamata has submitted. A round of applause to Mamata. A round of applause to Mamata.
Send that screenshot there. Abo?
In the chat. Let me see.
Yeah, we are winning, Mr. X. We are
progress.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Ma'am Eddie, your hand is up. Go ahead.
So I didn't
Eddie.
see your email that I must submit in the Word document. So I resubmitted now in a Word document.
Okay, you submitted through the portal in a Word document, correct? As well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then I just wanted to ask, so with the screenshots, I cropped the screenshot. Is that fine? So I didn't
Yes,
adjust
ma'am.
the table, I just cropped the screenshot. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So it's okay. Remember, the important thing is I need to see this is on your computer. It's your Word document, and I need to see the answer.
Yeah.
So your cropping must just show more than the essential parts. If you can show the date and time, happy. But I'm looking for the answer, and click on the formula cell. So if you're showing me a formula for a cell, don't show me the total, but click on the cell you are showing me. I want to see its formula bar, and then I want to see your name as well at the top.
Yes, so I made sure that my name was on the top when I cropped the screenshot.
And you clicked on the formula, the correct cell, so I can see the formula bar for it, right?
Yes, yes. Even the one where you said now we were allowed to post 2 screenshots. I tried to show you the font size and things in the one screenshot that I had there.
Okay, okay. Wonderful stuff, wonderful stuff. So I'll then check the portal, and then I will sort of download the other one. Make sure that I look at the right file. Let me see what I have. Thank you, ma'am
Okay.
Eddie. Now let's do this because I keep losing my files. So I'm going to sort of just find myself in trouble. Yeah, and say, right. So on the portal, what I will do, colleagues, is I will put in the new learner guide that I'm going to be introducing today. So the important detail about what we are starting off with today is nothing new, right? We are just taking Excel to a high level. We're just taking Excel to a high level. So if you can recall, we said there will be 3 levels: MS Excel Basic, then there'll also be Intermediate and Advanced. So I'm going to introduce Intermediate today. I'll give you the topics, and we'll start off with a few of the topics we're going to discuss here today. And then I'll use the rest of this week to do the marking. And I want us then to be ready for Intermediate next week, particularly looking at, of course, if I determine my colleagues did not do well with this submission, then we'll sort of discuss one-on-one to say, do you want to proceed to Intermediate, or do you want to jump off the training here? Is that okay with you, colleagues? Before we take the report to management, we are going to have a one-on-one discussion between myself and yourselves, and agree, are you going on or proceeding with us to Intermediate? And as well, we'll follow the same process when we get to Advanced. Am I making sense, colleagues? Is that a fair route to take? Is that a fair route to take? Do you have any objections? Or any inputs of your own, colleagues? You're allowed to have inputs as well. Colleagues? See, one of the problems I have is talking alone. Now, I don't know if you colleagues are okay or if your colleagues are not okay. I get very worried. I get very worried.
Yes, sir, that's fine.
Is it fine? Okay. All right. I'm not sure then. The first bit from my side is done. What do you guys recommend we do? Should we proceed, or should we take a short 15 minutes break, stretch off the legs and that? What do you guys recommend we do? Should I give you 5-10 minutes? you get coffee and you get a stretch of the legs. Then we start with intermediate. What's your feeling, colleagues? Okay. I also want to try and reach out to Mr. Ndlela on a few aspects. Ma'am Pascalina, are you still there? Should we wait for Ma'am Spue to come back? Will you let me know when she's back?
Yes, sir. I'll let you know as soon as she gets back.
Yeah. Let's take a 5-10 minutes break, colleagues. What do you say? And wait for Ma'am Spue to come back. So Ma'am Spue returns. Ask her to please give me a ring on my WhatsApp. But let's meet latest at 10 past 10, colleagues.
That's like 7 minutes.
Yes, 10 past 10. And then you are eating for 5 minutes whilst I talk here. I'll
Yeah.
allow you to eat in the meeting.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Sir. Sure.
10 minutes break, 10 minutes break.
Hmm?
I want business.
Miss Beach has joined us. Yes. Good morning, Miss Beach. Good morning, Miss Beach. How are you? I hope Ma'am Felicity can join us as well. Colleagues, we are back. We are back. Let's proceed. Please confirm you are here. Miss Beach is here. Colleagues, please confirm you are here. You are back. Where is Ma'am Monday? Things were done for the day. I'm only seeing the messages in the chat now. No, we're not done for the day, Ma'am Monday. We are here. We are here. Remember, if you tell Ma'am Monday that we work the whole day, we knock off at 4 here. Ma'am Refile, is Ma'am's poor back? Ma'am Pascalina, is Ma'am's poor back?
Yes, sir, I'm back.
They said you are bringing us lunch. Where is the lunch?
So I was trying to organize lunch. I'm failing.
How is Ma'am Mata doing?
She's good. She says her speaker, it goes on and off, but she's going to Nyanga Nyanga.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did you fix it for her?
Yes, sir. No.
Why didn't you fix it for her? Oh, Ma'am Spill.
She managed to submit. I went to assist with submitting, and that's all. Then I came back. Ooh.
Mhm. The colleagues don't love us at all, at all. Okay. Are we all back? Can we proceed? Can we proceed? Who is still not here? I see we have a new member, a new joinee, Miss Beach. Miss Beach, if you can, please tell me you've submitted your assessment on the portal as well. Ma'am Felicity as well, I'm missing your submissions. Can I abuse you one last time, Ma'am Spur? Please check where those submissions are, Ma'am Miss Beach and Ma'am Felicity. If you can please call them for me, ma'am. I know I'm abusing your landline, which Ma'am Refilo has never seen. Ma'am Refilo is a 2000 colleagues, so she's never seen a landline.
Mr. X, I spoke to Miss B. She said she's going to ring the bell, so I don't know if she's done.
Okay. Ask her if she's submitted on the portal. That's what I'm looking for, Ma'am Spewer. That's what I'm looking for, Ma'am Spewer.
Ma'am Pascalina is looking at the number of submissions, and she doesn't see Miss Beach's submission.
How is Ma'am Administrator looking at submissions on the portal? Yeah, who gave her the admin rights to look at the portal and submissions? This is unfair.
Hi, Mr.
Yeah. Okay. Now, colleagues, I want us to proceed, but I see Mamata says she's coming to finance. Does it mean she's walking across? Should we give her 2 minutes to join us?
It means she's not winning that side.
Okay. Let me know as soon as she arrives. I want to proceed so long. Can I proceed so long, colleagues? I'm going to introduce what we are going to be working on in Microsoft Office Excel Intermediate. Intermediate. We are moving you now from, you are no longer basic, so it's gonna get a little bit tougher, right? And I will need more of your focus and your concentration, right? And by the way, I will send out your assessment next week. So next week already, when you get to class, I expect you to have answered some of the questions on the assessment. I hope I'm making sense. So we'll have a lot more work on this assessment. We'll also have a whole lot more work in training, and you will still have to do some extra work as well outside of what we've learned in class to sort of get your mark right on the assessment. I hope I'm making sense, colleagues. Right. So some of the topics will be familiar. We've already done them in basic, but some of them will be completely new, and some of them you'll have to figure out on your own, colleagues. And some of them we've touched on, but we have not gone at great length. We'll start off nice and easy, renaming sheets, working with multiple worksheets, inserting and deleting sheets, adding or removing sheets, that is, moving and repositioning sheets. We'll also work with applying formulas across sheets. Okay, working with multiple sheets. Let me share my screen, and like I said, some of these things will basically be working with as we proceed. You've seen them, some of them from the experience that you've got. You will know them, but some of them you'll have to figure out whilst we're here in class. Where is Miss Beach's assessment? Yes, this one. Right. So I basically am done training this one, and I'm going to leave you alone with it. you'll have to answer questions in the assessment that speak to how this works. So you've got multiple sheets. How do you rename sheet 1? Similar to this. How do you add a color to sheet 1? Let's add a color to this one. Do you see how easy it is? So some of these things, colleagues, I'm going to just be browsing over, just like you are seeing me doing now. And then I'm also going to show you interesting stuff. So for example, here I can click the equal sign and I can bring everything that is in this other sheet here. It's equal to that. Or maybe let me highlight everything and show you what it does. Press enter. You see what I've done? So the data that is on the other side, I've brought to this spreadsheet here. You see what the formula looks
sorry,
like?
sir.
Yes, ma'am.
No. Sir, can you please redo what you just did? I didn't see it.
Why didn't you see it, ma'am?
Mr. X.
I need to know. Right, going to redo it. So basically, we've added tab colors to the sheets at the bottom. We've renamed this sheet. You need to rename that one as well. Now I'm fetching the data that is sitting in the other spreadsheet. Look what I'm typing inside the cell. I click on that particular tab and I fetch everything that is here by clicking and highlighting it. Then I press enter on my keyboard. All the data that is that side has now been brought to this side. Easy as that. Now, if you look at my formula, it tells you, do you see calculations there? So it tells me what I'm seeing here is coming from a different tab, exclamation mark, cell A1, all the way to cell A4. A1, A2, A3, A4. What is the benefit of this? And I'm not training it yet, but I want you to look at this cell. I'm going to fill it with yellow. What is the value inside this cell? What is the value that you see inside this cell, colleagues?
320.
320, I agree. Now, I come to calculations. This particular cell, I put in 789. I press enter. The benefit of that is I come back to this side. Oh, sorry, it's sheet 1. What is the value inside that cell, colleagues? What is the value inside that cell, colleagues? Colleagues, please speak to me. What is the value inside that cell?
Okay.
789.
What happened to the 320? Miss Eddie? Where did the 320 went?
What happened to it?
Miss Eddie, what happened to 320, Manch? Someone said it was 320 there. Where is my 320, Miss Eddie? Did someone steal it? What happened? Do I still have Miss Eddie? Okay. Memory failure. What happened to my 320? Memory failure. What happened to my 320? Silence in court. Who wants to assist us? Where is my 320? Colleagues, I did this on the screen. In front of you, all of you are watching. Silence in court. Very worried. Very worried. So working with multiple worksheets, the benefit of it is, do you see the value is 789, right? You look at that, complaints, you've changed the value on this side. Now, changing the value on this side basically says you are changing it at the wrong side. I'm going to go back to the worksheet calculations, and I'm going to change the 789 and make it your salary, MEMS PW, 120,000. So you basically are adding this particular value on the original sheet, which is this side, right? And adding it on this side basically updates it on this side. I'm hoping you colleagues are saying, oh, we see what happened there. Okay, don't worry. If you're not with me and if you're not concentrating, this time around, I'll catch you when it comes to the actual assessment. I'm not going to be nice on the assessment for intermediate. Yes, someone is unmuted and someone's hand is up. I don't know who it is. Go ahead. Someone is unmuted and your hand is up. Someone, go ahead.
Unmuted.
Mr. Edson,
Yes, ma'am.
say it seems as if we're not on the same page. Everyone is lost in this office.
Yeah, because you are not working with me. You are working alone there. You, instead of talking to me, you talk alone there. Now I continue and I ask, are you guys following? And then you are silent.
I say,
I'm putting a rule now. I'm putting a rule. MEMS Piwe, you are not allowed to mute your microphone. I want to hear everything there now. Now.
Okay, Mr. Egg got lost when, like you were saying. Mr. X, you were saying that Gule advanced, what are we going to do? That's the last, like that's when I was paying attention. And then next thing, there's 2 sheets and I don't understand what's happening. And then mind you, there's about spill and in.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I need you to follow and keep up with me. It's going to get tougher. That's why I keep saying to you guys, you've got to now keep up with me. Ma'am Stewart, do not mute your microphone any further. I want to hear everyone. Even I want to hear when you drop a pen in the office.
Okay, I just dropped my ruler. Saying you are moving too fast.
No, I'm not moving too fast. You guys are multitasking and you're not focusing. Ma'am Pascalina, please concentrate and listen.
Okay, Mr.
I'm going to say this again. Please, colleagues, work with me. Otherwise, the assessment will be difficult for you. Things are about to get a little bit tougher on Excel. Concentrate and work with me, please. I'm begging you. Right. I'm going to do this thing again. These 2 sheets were there already. We've changed color together. I've shown you that now. We've changed both sheets, renamed one, and I said you can rename the other one. I'm going to add a color here and I'm going to choose a different color, right? The color I'm adding here is going to be, I need to change this one. Let's use a nicer color.
Why are we changing this?
I'm going to use that color. I want you to focus on this cell, 125. Or maybe let me even make it better. so that you guys can catch up. You guys were saying you didn't keep up. I'm going to delete everything that's there. No, Phil? So I'm
Yes.
undoing everything. Now, I'm saying to you, we are learning how to work with multiple sheets. I've got 2 sheets, and these 2 sheets have different data. This sheet has that data. This sheet has this data. Now, notice what I am doing here. I press the equal sign. I click on the other sheet, calculations. I fetch all this data here. I press enter. The data that is on that other sheet comes to this sheet because I've said, go to calculations and fetch cell A1 to A3 and enter it here.
Mr. X, wait.
Yes, I
Mr.
do
X.
have weight. I think I have about 55 kilograms of weight.
Mr. X, phela, when you say I fetch, you must say I click this in. Because now you are just saying I click this and my screen looks like it looks like I don't even know what you are clicking in Sengwana segment. There's now text that you
That is
there's
Excel for
numbers.
you. I'll do it again for the 3rd time. I'm doing it for the 3rd time. I press delete on the keyboard here. Right? I repeat. I click on this cell, cell F2. I press the equal sign on this cell.
Yes.
I click on my tab for calculations. I highlight these 3 cells, cells A1 to 3. I press enter. Magic. The data that is in calculations is fetched from this worksheet here, and it is brought to this worksheet here. Look at the formula bar. It tells you,
when you
instead of a formula here, it went to a tab, calculations. Do you see calculations at the bottom? It is that worksheet. And it fetched cell A1 to A3. So if you go and check, the cells in A1 to A3 have exactly these numbers. And I'm going to click on calculations. I find the numbers are the same here. How do I know they're the same? You don't earn 120,000 MEMS PW. We know you earn 3 million. So I'm going to change that value to 3 million MEMS PW salary. Now, if I click on sheet 1, you see the magic that has happened here.
I see the magic, but I don't know how it happened.
Okay, don't worry. Your assessment will tell you if you are going to advanced of Excel or not. If you don't get it here, I'm leaving you, MEMS PW. I'm going alone to advanced. So you please need to get it. Now, I'm going to illustrate the last step again. If I update the cell here, memory failure, how much do you earn?
And discuss it with you. 1 million.
Sorry, so if I
1
can
million.
request,
1 million. Okay, bye.
we actually can't see these figures that you've got here, that you're on now. These figures, these things are tiny. We can't see properly. If you can enlarge in there, there we go. Now we can see what's going on.
Okay. So, memory failure, how much do you earn? 1 million. In your dreams, she earns 1,500. This one, she gets it from the gardener there at STL. 1,500. Not more than 1,500. This one. Now, if you can see, colleagues, I've entered the 1,500 on the tab calculations. I am going to find it updated on this side. The 3 million is gone. Why is the 3 million gone? I've been saying the same thing. This is the 5th time now. It is gone because here my formula says go to calculations tab, fetch data from A1 to A3. So the data that is here is actually data that sits on a different worksheet. If I update Mem Refiller's salary here and give her a raise to 2,000 Rand, I will get an error. And that error is because my formula says you are fetching this data from the other side. I hope I'm making sense.
So when it says spill, it means there's an error.
So if I go and fetch, if I come this side, I want to show you what it illustrates here. If I delete that cell here and come back to this side, it no longer updates. You see now it's basically saying what you are doing now is messing with what you've given me. Before I messed it up, I was able, and I'm going to click undo twice. I was able because I said to Excel, you are fetching this data, there is source data on a different worksheet. Go that side and fetch data and paste it here. Now I'm coming here and I'm changing this thing. What basically means is you are doing it the wrong way. You need to go back to calculations and update the salary there. Once you've done it the right way, you are then going to find your updates will work again just fine. Okay, colleagues, I'm not teaching that lesson here and now, but I was just showing you it's going to be a bit tougher this time around, so I really do need you to concentrate and focus. Right. The next thing or the next topic we're going to learn is working with name ranges, cell ranges. So in Excel, you are able to say, I'm dealing with a range of cells, but instead of putting these cells as A1, A2, A3, those ranges can be named. I'm going to show you how it is done very briefly and very quickly. So if these cells, I'm going to say to you, these cells, colleagues, 3 of them, I want to give them a name and say they are calculations. Let's call them calc. How does that sound? You see that? I've renamed them here. I'm giving them a name and I'm calling them calc. So the first step that I did was I highlighted all 3 of them. Oh, sorry, now I'm highlighting 4. And then I gave them a name. Colleagues, are you following? Now, if I want to use them in a formula, I can just say sum, sum, and then calc. Yeah. I hope this formula works for me. Hey, where is calc now? Give me, I forgot the C here. Colleagues, please make sure you catch this. I hope I've done that right. I press enter. Do you see now it gives me an answer here? Look at what my formula looks like. Do you see the calc that I used? Yeah. Ziyakhala manje.
Too much.
Monde, are you following?
No.
2%.
No, ma'am, don't answer from Monde. Monde, come here. Are you following?
2%.
Okay. Work with me, Monde. Let's say Monde, I'm going to give a real life example. Monde. Monde, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Let's go to March,
Yes,
Monde. You see your expenses for March. You had to buy paint in March, concrete, building sand, bricks, and tiles for March. All right?
Yes.
Now, let's say you know these are expenses for March. What would you call them, Memond? A simple name. Let's call them March expenses. Memonde, please tell me you are following. So what I've done, Memonde, is all these amounts that you spent on March, I've given them a name and called them March expenses. Are you following that far?
Yes.
I hope that yes is not 2% yes, ma'am. So basically, me and you are agreeing. All of these together are March expenses. I have given them a name. We want to call them March expenses. That's a name range. So all the expenses in March can have that name range. And let's do the same for February expenses, Memond. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, what's the name? March expenses save. You're not supposed to save it.
I have
Or
saved
type it
it, and
somewhere.
I'm happy. It means you are following. I have saved it, Memond. Remember, and that's what I want you to do now. So your question saves you from being in trouble with me. Memond, please save the name range for March. Oh, sorry, for February. Where do I save this name range for February? I want to save.
Top left.
Where in top left, ma'am?
Top left.
Where? Here.
Return C2.
Glad we're making progress. So C2 is what we called in introduction or MS Basic, MS Excel Basic. What did we call this area here? The name box. So in the name box, where Memonde says C2, what do we write, Memonde? Let's write Feb EXP so that you see the full name. You see that, Memonde? Please remind me this name because I'll forget it. This is February expenses. To save Memonde, here's your question. Enter. And it is saved. Now, if I click all of these cells, do you see what C2 says, Memonde?
Yes.
So it is saved. That is your question. How do we save it? That's how we save it.
Okay.
Now, Memonde, I'm going to keep quiet. Please help Pascalina. Where is Mem Pascalina? Mem Pascalina?
Hello.
Please save January expenses, the range of cells in January. Memonde will be your facilitator and your assessor. She will tell you if you're right or wrong. How do I save January expenses?
How do I save them? Highlight. Yeah, from 300. Oh, I must highlight from 300
to
600. To 600. Oh, okay. And then
I'm listening, Mem Pascalina. Tell me what to do.
Monday, my lecturer said I should highlight from cell B2
Yes.
300 down to 6B. That
P6, not 6B.
yeah,
Right, I've done that.
no, I'm listening. Then go B2. Left.
What did we call B2, Memonde? Now I beat you because you're making me a bad facilitator. What did you call B2?
Name box.
Thank you very much. I can't go there, but I can click, right?
And then you can
Okay.
write again.
And then I type, right?
Yes.
What are these ones? Jen? Paski, you must remind me these ones. Jen, expert.
Yeah.
I'll call them expert so that they're different. Right.
Mm.
I'm assuming all of us are now following. And I press enter. Now, I want to calculate the total MEMS-PUE. What is the total for March expenses? Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's go to MEMS-PUE. March expenses. How do I calculate the total?
So you go to the D column,
Yeah.
and then you go to D2.
I can't go, ma'am. You need to say click, because going is going to, I need a text. I don't have text.
I can show you that you drive your mouse to take
I
your
can't
mouse
drive
to
a mouse. It doesn't have a steering wheel, ma'am.
you take your mouse and you will go to to D2.
I click on cell.
So I'm sure you haven't clicked yet. When you get there, then you drive.
Okay, go ahead.
Say what's the? I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm listening, ma'am. Tell me exactly what you did.
I mean, I say I'm not sure, but I'm just trying to.
That's what I'm
get
looking
there.
for.
I'm sure. Then your mouse, I don't see your mouse. Please put your mouse at 325.
Mouse at 325 here.
D2. Yes.
D2?
And then
yes.
Yes. And then you click and then you drag down to 510.
Doing wrong answer. Now, MEMS-PUE, catch this, and MEMS-PUE be warned, I'm coming for you next. This is what we've done. We've named these expenses to match expenses. Memonde, what was the name for the match expenses?
Match.
So the first answer, MEMS-PUE, is put in an equal sign. Then you put in, we want to calculate the sum. I get the formula for sum. Yes, Memonde, what was the name of the range for match?
Match expenses.
We called it match expenses. Do you see it here now in blue?
Where?
90 days.
Closing my
Where,
screen.
sir?
Do you see it on my screen there? I've put in the match expenses there.
Get that.
Then I press enter.
So where did you get it?
Right? So look at my formula now. My formula says we are summing up match expenses.
So where did you get the? How did you get it to highlight in blue? Where did you get the match expenses?
I think you are getting it. I'm not answering your question. Let me go for mem refill. I'm leaving you alone, mem spill. You'll answer yourself. Mem refill, come.
The answer I'm better, but I just I don't know the formula.
Mr. Member Fila went to the ladies.
Why is she all of a sudden running to the ladies? Okay, Memonde, February expenses. I want to calculate their total here. How do I go about?
She's talking to a supply. Mr. X, just show me how to do it and then I'll give you the answer next time. So that you can communicate with the lady at the reception.
Okay.
Where's the walkie-talkie?
Equal sign.
Where's the other one?
Whatever calculation I want to make. Sum. The February expenses, we named them Feb expense. Do you see there? So I can just write Feb expense, but Excel as I type reminds me that you've got a thing here that you named.
That you say.
Then I close.
Okay.
Then I press enter.
Then it gives you the answer.
Now,
okay, so may I please ask a stupid question?
Then it gives me the answer. Yes, ask your stupid question.
So why would you do this? Like, Anisha, you saw, before you said my answer is wrong, you saw what I was trying to do, Anisha.
Yes, I did.
Yes. So why would someone do this and not just put total next to tiles, just put total and then you just drag your thing and then you go to, then you click on auto sum and then it gives you the total. why would I do all of
That's
this?
why people always say they love stupid questions. Here's your answer, and your answer is very interesting. Imagine right now we have only how many cells to add? We have 6. Imagine, Memonde, how many expenses do you have to add up per month? Are they 6 only?
No, it's a lot.
Now, imagine if you are going to sit here and do what you wanted to do, Mems Piwe. Equal sign, click here, and drag all the way to the bottom. And then
Yes.
you have to do the same thing when you get to calculations. You have to do the same clicking and clicking and clicking. So now, with this particular formula here, I can simply name them February expenses. And when I get here, and I want to use the February expenses again, I can simply, for instance now, I want to calculate or deduct 15% from the February expenses. I'm setting an example. So I can say 0.15 multiplied by March expenses. How much VAT am I paying in March? I don't have to click too many times. I just go and do that and it gives me the amounts there.
So we'll
What
get
is
to
the
that.
benefit of this? The benefit of number ranges is you can call them in one line in a formula. Now, look at my formula here. My formula is very easy. I'm calculating 15% of March expenses. So in terms of VAT in March, this is how much we paid. Rather than clicking 13 times, I click once, I type once, done.
Oh, which is why you said we must remind you of the late.
Now, Memonde, come back. Your supply is gone, right?
No, she's still on the phone on a different course.
Where is Mem Refill? Is she done poo-pooing?
Yes.
Mem Refill went to poo-poo. Mem Refill, your facilitator is Mem's Piwe. I want you to use January expenses and calculate their sum here.
Double 2. At the gate is. Because the learners they are going grade 10 from B2 and I drag them down.
Mem Refill, please spoke to me.
And then
About who's?
How is she in class when she can't hear me?
You
Okay, now I can hear you, Mem Refill. Yes, I want to get a total for January expenses. How do I go about, ma'am?
Okay, equal sign, say, and then you're gonna click B2 and drag it down to B6.
Wrong.
You're giving the same answer I gave.
So
where is your facilitator? Ask her to help you.
So said you want me to say that you need to go back to sheet 1 where you named your.
Ask Mem Piwe, your facilitator. She'll tell you the right answer.
You need to, yeah.
Sign and then some.
Remember, Uguti, when we did it January, we saved it name box.
Yeah, it's equal sign and then some, and then you go to name bar, you click January expenses, and then you close it as in some. And then you click enter.
And then you type the name of how you saved the January.
We call what you saved the January as number ranges. That's the lesson we are learning today.
Then enter, it will show the total.
Okay. Great work, Mem Refilwe. Thank you, Mem Piwe as well. I hope you guys are learning the lesson there.
Trying to take down notes as well.
Okay. So we are going to be working with all of that as well, and you guys need to be aware of how and where it works. The question Mems Piwe is asking, the stupid question Mems Piwe is asking, you guys are looking at this data, it's simple data, it's small data. But all of these things come in handy when you're working with millions of rows and hundreds of cells to deal with. You don't want to be clicking one by one and dragging. You just use name ranges and you basically call them by name. Use them in a formula and understand them as you go with your spreadsheet. Other aspects we're going to talk about is sorting data on your spreadsheet. We're also going to be talking about filtering data on your spreadsheet. We're going to talk about validation of your data, which will include checking formulas and troubleshooting. Why am I getting an error? Remember, I did say to you guys, or you ladies, I'm introducing what we're going to be talking about in intermediate. And what I've done now is I've just shown you it's going to get a little bit tougher. I need you guys to fully concentrate and work with me as we proceed with this level of the training. We're also going to import data from outside of Excel. I hope you are noting these topics down.
I'm trying to, but you're too fast.
Okay. I'll try and slow it down. So we're going to be working with a whole lot of filters, sorting, importing data from outside of Excel into Excel. We're going to work with links as well. So how do I link my data in Excel to say link this to a certain area of Excel or get that data from somewhere else? Okay. Then we're going to deal, I think I've mentioned this, we're going to work with a whole lot of sorting the data, filtering the data. When I introduced MS Excel Basic, I said to you guys, you need to be the owner of the data. You need to understand the data. If you don't understand the data, you don't understand the formulas, you don't understand the information on your spreadsheet, then that's a recipe for disaster. All the time, you need to own the data and understand the data, because when you analyze it, use it in formula or whatever the case, you will not know when it's wrong. You will not know when it's wrong. Then you will produce incorrect or inconsistent spreadsheets. Now, Excel comes in with intermediate training. We're going to then add Excel aspects of filtering the data and sorting the data. Now, when you sort and filter the data using Excel tools, you still need to know the data yourself and be able to say, this data is correct, I vouch for this data, it is 100% precise. We're going to do advanced features in Excel. We're going to talk about database functions in Excel. We're going to use lookup functions in Excel. We're also going to analyze your data in Excel. So it's going to be a bit tough. That's why I need you ladies to concentrate and focus. You're going to get a lot of mathematical, and it's also going to get a whole lot of sort of technical, mathematical and technical. We're going to dig deeper into functions. You guys think you've gotten away. We've only done some multiplication and division, right? We're going to start working with lookup functions. A lookup function is for searching for data in a spreadsheet. Look up, not, oh, Nkosi Yamakos. Mem Pascalina, Shem, because of your height, I'm sure you're always looking up when you talk to Mr. Sbonelo. How?
No.
Not that look up, Mem Pascalina, not that one. Not that look up, Mem Pascalina.
Yes, girl.
Who
is taller between Miss Beach and Mem Spiwe?
Yeah, definitely Miss
No,
Beach.
Mem Monde?
Hello, sir.
Are you any close
So
to
I'm
being...
undoubtedly, undoubtedly the tallest.
Who is the tallest between Miss Beach and Mem Spiwe?
It's Miss Beach.
I disagree. I think Mem Spiwe catches up quite okay.
No.
Now,
Between
look
the
at this scenario. So Mem Pascalina looking at trying to make eye contact with Miss Beach. It doesn't work. She's looking up literally.
Mr. X,
Okay. Sorry. Mem Pascalina, what we need to do, me and you, we need to go to Department of Labor and apply for a grant for
Let's see, Mr. Exxon something.
eh? We must go to the Department of Labor, apply for a grant for working with a shortness problem, you see, and then they must pay us money, Mem Pascaline. You don't want more money, Mem Pascaline? She says she doesn't want. Okay, then your husband mustn't give you e-wallet and wife allowance. You see now, Mem Pascaline. Okay, never mind. So there's a function I'm introducing to you, colleagues. It is called a lookup function. That lookup function is going to help us search for data on a spreadsheet. I am at an introductory level here. I will jump into it and you'll see how it works. Other functions we're going to look at are logical functions. Does anyone want to guess what logical functions are about?
Logic.
They're about logic, I agree. In mathematics, when we talk about logic, what are we talking about?
Solving for X.
Good try, Mem Spiwe. Do you remember back in the days, logical functions, things like greater than, less than? Right. So when we get to this level of Excel, we use more than just multiplications, additions, and things like those. We'll look at other types of functions and how they work in Excel. Colleagues, am I making sense? Okay. We'll work with charts in Excel. We're going to work with charts. So I think we did a great deal of charts in PowerPoint. Do you remember? We're also going to come back here and deal with charts, and I'm again going to repeat to you guys at this level. Basically, what we are doing is introducing the conversation of charts, but essentially, we're going to delve deeper into these conversations with the lesson when we start off and actually do the learning. For now, I'm just waking you up to say, I need you to fully be prepared for Excel Intermediate. It's going to get a bit tricky. Pivot tables. Pivot table. Let me see if I can create a pivot table for this one. And I will make it easy for you guys. I'm going to sort of introduce today intermediate, and I'm going to give you homework. And when you come back, I want you guys to come back at least with some insight of what I am referring to here. Now, let's look at your hand is up. Go ahead, Mem Spiwe.
I even cancelled my old hand. This is a new hand. Anyway, Mr. X, I wanted to, the one that we just did now, taking data, because I think we did two things. We took data from one sheet and then transferred it to another one. I want to know what are those topics, like, and then the ones that we did getting data from the name box. What is that called?
Mem Spiwe. You are still on the first two topics. I've got 12 topics
I
and you're
just
still
need
on
to
number
know
one
what they are
topic.
called so that when I do my homework, I know what to do.
Don't worry, my homework will be very explicit to you. But for your interest, those ones, we call them working with multiple sheets in Excel. Then the ranges are called name ranges, working with name ranges in Excel.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I want to speak to something interesting. You guys might have seen it somewhere, but I'm going to show you what we call a pivot table. What we call a pivot table. So, and again, I'm going to, let me start with a recommended one, right? You'll see something interesting here, and I'm hoping I can quickly create a pivot table out of this data here. Now, pivot tables are for analyzing my data. I want to see summaries of my data. So I want to see what happened in January. Let me add here. I hope I can do this very quickly and get away with murder, right? Let me see if I can add that. Hey, I want this to be here. Let's see. So if you look at what I've got here, I've got a new sheet for starters. On sheet 1, and maybe let me come back here. I regret removing those aspects. I want to try and illustrate how pivot tables work. What did we call the January expenses, by the way? Call them that. I'm closing my bracket. Do you see this total, colleagues? It is a total of all of these cells here, which is the January expenses. Do you see that? And let me do the same here so that you understand what I am doing nicely. Where is sum? There is sum. What did you call the February ones? Feb expenses, right? I'm closing the bracket. So I'm just calculating the totals again. I deleted them, but I want to illustrate this all together. These ones are called March expenses, right? So I have to do this 3 times, but I hope the 3rd time you guys will help me. So I want you to see the totals are here. I had to calculate them manually. Now, with a pivot table, I get these calculations easy. So sum of January is given to me in a pivot table. You guys see that? Now I want to get a sum of February. I add it here. Now I want to add March. I add it here. I'm speaking French, right?
The whole day today.
The whole day today.
Okay. Say again. The whole day I'm speaking French.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay. So if you look at what my data talks about, basically, I am simply analyzing my data. And in a pivot table, I am able to give you comparisons. The totals are here at the bottom, but when I work with the pivot table, I am able to sort of work with my data quicker and better. Now I'm going to do something interesting. Well, it's going to be interesting to me. Let me see if I can achieve this very quickly. Sum of January. Let me see if I can create an average. So for example, how do I get an average? I want to change the formula there. Value field settings. Let me see there. I want to calculate an average of January instead of a sum. So in January, I get averages of that. Then eventually I get a grand total. So I don't, and here I am presenting to the Minister of Finance around all, and I'm answering these questions. Instead of busy playing around and changing formulas, I simply use a pivot table to change the formulas and analyze the data live. If I want to change here for January, let's see what else I can calculate. How many values do I have? Let me see. So for January, if I want to count how many expenses I have, and remember Mem's poor stupid question, it's becoming very smart now. If I have 200 expenses in February, and then the Minister of Finance asks me, you have a total, let's say for instance, you see this is 1,900. Let's say this was 19 million, right? The Minister of Finance asks, how many expenses or items did you spend on in February? I go to Excel and I use another count function that says count only. So in February now I'm clear. I have 5 expenses that answer comes right away in front of the minister, I can give it to him. That's what a pivot table is all about. It's all about assisting you analyze your data easier and quicker. Good. I need you guys to wake up and concentrate when we are working with intermediate Excel. It's no longer funny now. It's not funny anymore.
Sir, your screen is not showing the computer answer.
I'm going to stop sharing and reshare for the sake of Memonde. Memonde, I can tell you now, it's probably a network issue, but I want you to see and I want you to, I'm happy you are saying you are not seeing my screen. Don't sit with an issue there because I really need you guys to concentrate here. I really need you guys to concentrate here. Okay, sorry, I'm sharing the wrong screen now. Where is my screen? Memspure stole my right screen. Memspure is a thief.
Where's Pascal? They're calling now, Antoinette.
Mem Eddie, are you there?
30 minutes.
Mem Eddie, are you following?
Yes, I'm here.
Are you following the lesson on pivot tables and why we need them? Is that a new hand, Mem Spiwe, or is it an old one?
Oh, it's
the network keeps going on and off, but I have an idea of what you do.
Okay, that's input from Mem Eddie. Okay, so colleagues, I will repeat this every week. I need you guys to please be ready for training. We are going to go a little bit deeper. It's going to be quite interesting with Excel this time around. Okay. The other topics that we're going to talk about, and these will be amongst the last few topics, we'll talk about basic macros. How do we run a macro? How do we understand a macro? And how do we work with these macros and developer tabs? What macros are about, colleagues? It's very simple. Macros are about, so if you are doing the same thing on Excel repeatedly, macros basically make it easier for you. You can save the macro and it redoes this thing for you as much as you want it to be rerun. So if, for example, every month you go in and you enter add monthly expenses, you can record the macro, run the macro every month, and you're done. So the spreadsheet that you have to redo every month, you can very carefully save it into a macro, and then you can sort of rerun the macro and it does your work in one click. You just click run macro. Not, I'm talking to ladies. Miss Eddie, Miss Peach, I'm not talking about where you buy your groceries at month end. No, not that macro.
Means I'm thinking oh, it's MA macro. I'm thinking restaurant.
Talking to women and talking macros, it's a problem, this thing. Going to be a problem. Right, so at length, that is me introducing our intermediate or Excel intermediate training, ladies. And I hope you have noted that I need you to fully focus here. Next week, going forward from here, when I say we are starting a session at 9, please psych your mind, be ready for class, and you will always have homework now, starting from today. And when you come to class, you must have done that homework. I don't want you to come to my class without doing that homework. If you haven't done that homework, I will chase you out of my class. I want you to miss me. Tuesday we have class. Wednesday you must miss me. Thursday you must have a question for me. Friday you must be angry at me. Monday you must be warming up for class. On Tuesday, I start the session by saying, what questions do you have for me? And I need your input. So we talk only on Tuesdays, but I want you to miss me all through the week, starting from today. Okay. Now I'm going to be part of the dinner at home as well. Miss Charissa, there when you eat your dinner and cook, there'll be a laptop with a YouTube video for Excel running there. I hope you guys get what I'm referring to here. All right. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? I want us to start already.
Start what? Sorry.
I thought we were at the end.
I was just introducing Excel Intermediate. Now we can start the training.
No, sir. No, sir. Sir, can I suggest?
Suggest. I'm in stitches, by the way.
I connect us too much. Sir, can we meet next week SPL, sir? Rather than Sibela and office.
Okay. Remember, I need to arrange for us to meet in person. And if you remember, we had this conversation. The agreement was we meet in person only once, and that's on the third training session.
But no, sir. Like we need to meet. As we're starting the new
So
And
we
this was
start,
just
the agreement with management was we do 2 sessions online, then on the third one we meet, then we do the assessment, and then we decide who's going to the next level or who's not going to the next level. Don't worry, ma'am. I'm scaring you only for one reason. I need your attention. So they allow that you speak to your managers and you postpone the work. For example, if you've got work and meetings in the office, please ask to be excused from your routinely work protocols. Don't schedule meetings for Tuesdays. Don't go out on Tuesdays. Announce to everyone that I am in training on Tuesday. I'm not available to assist on Tuesday. That was the agreement with management, and all your colleagues need to also know the same thing. Memonde?
They know papers. They know, but it's papers.
You are allowed to tell them, no, I'm listening to Mr. X's ugly voice. I can't help you until, I think me and you can agree that we can stop the sessions either at 1, then you can do the work in the afternoon. I don't know what you guys feel, but tell them I'm in training from, we can start at 8, I had suggested before, or tell them I'm in training from 9 o'clock until 1. I can't move and I can't help you with anything at that time. You need to be the ones that tell them. When they call you, don't answer the phone. When they send you a WhatsApp, tell them I'll assist you at 1.
Should have said that about 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
Any questions?
Okay,
Mr.
Memonde?
X?
Yes, ma'am.
Finish with Memonde first.
Memonde, do not be perplexed. I'm going to be gentle with you. Right now, I was highlighting what we're going to do together. I'm still going to go back and answer slowly but surely, give you the detail, the theory behind it. I just jumped into the deep end for now. That's why you're panicking. But I still have to train you nicely and slowly, so don't panic a lot. Okay?
Okay, sir.
But I'm glad I've got your attention now, and I need you guys to work with me to make sure we ensure quality training. I also don't want to submit a report and say, I've trained you in Excel, but you still don't know Excel. I don't want that. I want you to grasp these concepts and know Excel.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Ms. Pua, you had a question?
It's fine, sir. I thought, no, never mind.
Okay. Ma'am Pascalina? Is she
Sir?
done with Miss A? Are you back?
Yeah, yes, I'm back.
Did you get yourself a promotion?
No.
Did Miss A give you an increase at least, gay?
Yo, Mr. X.
Nothing.
No, nothing.
All right. We are in trouble, Ma'am Pascalina. And by the way, I trust you to help my colleagues there with all these things and the difficulties with Excel.
Yes.
Paski,
Like
Paski.
that for me.
Ma'am Refilwe? Ma'am Refilwe?
Hello.
Are you alive?
Especially alive.
Okay.
And this was
Let's
just the
start.
intro.
Let's start. Let's
Now,
start. So the first concept we're going to talk about is multiple sheets. Multiple sheets. Remember, we're starting at the top. I was introducing it. Now I'm going back to give it to you slowly and surely. Okay. Why do you guys, sorry, I have to learn to say ladies. Why do you ladies think we need to work with multiple sheets? I'm asking the same question Mens Poor said is stupid, but I'm asking it differently. Why would you need multiple sheets?
Sometimes you need the same data that you used from the previous sheet to the next one, so you don't want to retype.
But you want to use the data for a different reason, right?
Sometimes, yes.
I agree with you.
That's what
I agree with you.
No, like I'm trying to think.
Answer says, "Spill the thief."
Say I'm not a thief. Yes, because
I know
I
her,
told
ma'am. She always steals this one. I know her very well.
But I mean, I'm talking about something that I do every day. I told you I'm marking the register, so I take the same information from the previous month. So I need the same learner names and surnames, and then I just transfer to the next sheet. But the information is going to be different. So yeah, I'm not stealing.
No, I agree with you fully, ma'am. I agree with you fully, ma'am.
Yeah, well.
Ma'am Monde, do you ever have to use the same spreadsheet over and over again?
Yes,
Yeah. Now she's eating. I wonder what you've given her to eat. Okay. Now, colleagues, there are many reasons why you would want to use multiple sheets, right? The information might be related. That's one. And that information, not necessarily being the same, is related, and you want to, even if it is the same, you want to use it for a different purpose. Same data, it relates, but you want to use it for a different purpose. For example, you want to keep all your budget sheets in one workbook, but you have 12 months. So it's the same items per month, but each month, maybe they cost differently. And I'll give you a better example of something that I never liked. Do you remember back in the days when DSTV started renting out movies to us? You were allowed to, on your DSTV, rent a movie and they would bill you at the end of the month. Do you guys remember that life?
Yeah, I was still very young. I don't.
I do.
You were not very young. You were just not exposed to renting via DSTV, ma'am. Okay. So what you would get is this month your bill for DSTV would include 5 movies that you rented. But then next month, it's only 2 movies. And each movie, if I remember very well, was about 30 rands. Right? Now, if you say 30 rand times 3, it's a different amount than 30 rand times 5. But you are still renting the same movies.
Yeah.
Am I making sense, colleagues? Just give me a second here. I want to see. Okay, no, I don't think I will have that one here, but that's one reason for using multiple sheets. It's the same data. For example, a budget for January, for February, all the way until December. Now, working with multiple sheets, for example, if the data relates, even if it's a budget for different departments, when you update the same, let's say, for example, Monde, how many departments do you have to manage? Maybe you manage the extensive budget per month. Maybe you manage the, let's say, your spreadsheet includes extensive budget, Glen Austin budget, which other company, Memonde? SPL budget. So you then have multiple sheets that manage all the budgets in one. When you walk into a meeting, you open one spreadsheet and you use the same spreadsheet. You just click on different worksheets to make sure that you are quick in responding to questions on the budgets. I hope I'm making sense, colleagues.
Why we use different sheets? Why
Okay.
do you use different?
Another reason. Let's say, for example, you want to print your spreadsheets. Let's say, for example, you want to print your spreadsheets. You might assume it's going to be easy, right? But imagine you have to open 10 files and print all these budgets. It might become somewhat difficult. But if they're all saved, you just say print workbook all at once and all your sheets come out. You don't have to click print 15 times. I hope I'm making sense, colleagues. Don't worry. You'll start seeing these things as we go. I'm going to show you how they work. Well, I've shown you now how they work, but we'll get some data and we'll go into it. At times, they're able to group sheets as well. So those sheets, again, if they relate in terms of formulas, I've shown you now, if I'm calculating something that is sitting in a different worksheet, if they're all part of the same workbook, I can use them in a formula. As well, I can use a spreadsheet, a formula that groups multiple workbooks. So if I have a spreadsheet for budgets and I have a spreadsheet for taxes and expenses, so I can interlink these different workbooks and use them in one formula. We're going to illustrate how that's possible as well. So there are multiple benefits to this, and one of them I've illustrated, but I will still continue to illustrate how that works. Where are the worksheets located on your spreadsheet? Where are they located? How do I see how many worksheets I have in a workbook or in a spreadsheet? Where are they located? You guys, I've lost you guys. Where have you gone to now? Okay, I've lost all of you. You're not concentrating anymore. How do I add a new worksheet to my spreadsheet here?
You go to the plus at the bottom.
Bottom of my screen, right? So I'm going to show you, this is easy, right? I keep adding the plus. So basically, we are working with these workbooks and worksheets. I'm adding them. Do you see the numbering that's going on there? Am I the one adding the numbers? By default, they are given names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, until the last one. How many do I have now in total?
10, 11, 12.
Pascalina, how many do I have? Mems Pure says, I've got 12. Do you agree?
There's more. It's hidden. I think there's 13, yeah.
I disagree. Memonde, how many worksheets do I have?
Where do we see the number?
Miss Eddie?
11. But there's 12.
Memonde is guessing.
After 11.
Miss Eddie? How many worksheets do I have?
I'm sure he has Colisa somewhere. Justina, we don't know it. I'm sure it's written, Mosquito sheet 12, sheet 18. Does that mean? But there's one that's hidden. After 12, there's another sheet.
I'm looking for a simple answer, colleagues. For me to see what's not showing here, Memspo is like there's another sheet here. This arrow here is what I'm looking for from you guys. You see how many sheets are still hidden there?
Yes.
So I have 24 sheets in total.
But how do we see? Because it's hidden.
Okay, that's what I'm showing you. So for me to navigate here, I'm able to use these arrows here. You can press Control, left click. You go to all the way. If you look at my screen there, you can go all the way to the first one. You can right click as well to see all sheets. You see that list there? Now I can manage my worksheets here and I can double click sheet 7. Now sheet 7 is shown. I right click again. I want to see the calculations sheet. Here is my calculations sheet. I double click on it and here are my calculations. Magic, right? Can you please do the same on your side there? Add many spreadsheets. Tell me how it works for you, because we all have different computers and these things don't always work the same. And then I want you to please confirm, you know how to rename a worksheet now, right? Okay. Add them. Show me that you can actually do that.
Do you know how to rename a sheet?
Yes,
they taught you. Today they taught you how to rename a sheet.
There's a rename, you remove that one.
But to show how you did that. Said we send screenshots.
I'm waiting for those screenshots, yes.
Can we label them anything, or do you want us to
rename it to your name? So if you're Martha, rename it to Martha. And I want to see multiple sheets added there, not just 3 or 4. Add a lot, but rename only 3 or 4 and send your screenshots. Change the color as well, please.
Make as many spreadsheets as you can and rename them.
You don't need to rename 24. Rename just a couple to show that you are able to rename them and change the color as well.
Change color. I don't know how to.
Yeah,
How to change color. Now I can. This one, what's your favorite color?
Miss Peach, please tell me you are following and you're able to do this as well. Mem Spew, unfortunately, I have to abuse you. Where is Mem Felicity, Mem Spew?
Hi, Sam.
Someone said hi. Yes. Hello, Mem.
I'm here.
Is that Mem Felicity?
Yes, Sam.
Guys, I'm dancing and I'm dancing. She's here. She's here, guys. I'm dancing and guitaring here.
Yes.
Hi, manje. Hello, Mem Felicity.
Oh, hi, Sam.
Everyone is stressed, ma'am. They don't like me today. Everyone is like, I'm speaking French.
That's why I'm working underground, say, because
And the assessment is going to be tough, Ma'am Felicity. And I'm not helping you this time with the assessment.
Aibo.
You're on your own.
It's awesome.
You're on your own this time around, guys.
Spio is gonna help me.
Hey, that one. I wish you good luck. I wish you good luck there. Okay, welcome, Ma'am Felicity, and I'm happy you were able to join. Happy you were able to join.
Yes,
Right click and you should the way you rename. Pascal, what's in here?
Pascal, all right. Pascal, I'm frustrated.
Just understand like
Miss Eddie, are you there? Are you coping?
send a screenshot.
Who is robbing the game today? She's like, Mina, I'm used to this thing. I'm clear here. Screenshot sent.
Are we sending to chat?
I'm seeing it in the chat. I'm happy with that.
Are we
If
sending
you want to
chat?
send in the WhatsApp group as well, I'm happy with that.
No, I mean I just took the bottom. Yeah, I get it. I'm sorry, sir. She's here, but the network is very bad. At the money. But I think that's fine. I'm asking. Such a bad picture. What's wrong with that?
Thank you, Penny. Imagine last year. How do I share this screenshots and like a grouping? It's lesson.
Go chat.
But I can press out loud, type a message, you know. You open my phone. Oops,
I'm waiting for the screenshots, colleagues. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I see from Mondays.
no.
Sir, but we've submitted.
Where's my mother? I'm waiting for refill. I'm waiting for Mem Paski. I'm waiting for Mem Mata.
I'm just getting stressed, sir.
She mustn't be stressed. Why here?
We must not take those calls.
I told her not to take those calls.
She remembers.
20 minutes to break. I like not muting microphones. It works for me, you know. This thing of muting, then you say things and I can't hear them. This is good. Now I know Monday is not on my phone as well.
It's typing.
I hope yes, I've been done.
Screenshot from memory failure in the WhatsApp group. Dropping the game nicely. Thank you, Mem Refilwe. I had a memory from, you guys will hate me for this one. Memonde, you remember another Makubela we had?
Yes.
I had to avoid sharing a memory on the socials. I got a reminder of a picture we posted. And you know how crazy she was, that Makubela, right?
Yes.
Now Mem
I know.
Refilwe is in my class and she's a Makubela. Now I'm like, I should have posted that memory and then changed it to Refilwe Makubela instead. Then they will say this Refilwe is the crazy one.
Which one is that?
Which one is that one?
Nice.
I'm waiting for the screenshots. Mem Pascalina, where is yours? Mem Mata, where is yours?
I don't know if it's a label or it's a shop.
Are you battling, colleagues? Are you fine, colleagues? I want to move along. When you see me asking that question, I want to move along swiftly. Okay, those that are done, let's learn something new. What are the shortcuts for copying? If you're copying data, what is the shortcut?
Control C. Control C.
Wonderful stuff. If you're pasting, what is the shortcut?
Control V. Very nice.
Right? Then if you are cutting,
Cutting. Control X.
my favorite one. My favorite one. Now, how does Excel work? How do you explain this? I'm going to switch to my calculations tab. How does Excel work? How do you explain this? Please look at my screen, colleagues.
The bigger the number, the paper.
I'm going to select, look at the shortcuts. Do you see the shortcut for copying? I've got two options, copy as a picture and copy. I'm going to select just copy. But how do I explain this? And this is the paste button, right? And then I get all these different paste options. How do you explain how Excel copies? Why does Excel copy in this way? Do you see what Excel does there? How do you explain this? How do you explain all of this? Hey, because it is in use by another application. Leave me alone. So it's telling me it can't copy it can't paste my data there. But I know that my data is available. How do you explain all of these? I want to paste. It says I can paste even as an image. How do I explain all these paste options here? And which one is the best to use?
Smart. Smart pasting. The best one to use is the one that you choose how you want your data to look like.
I agree with you, Ms. Piwe. So if you want to transpose your data, Ms. Piwe has answered that one more than I would have explained. So if you want to transpose your data, you will see with this paste, the 325, not the BMW, is now starting from the cell G3, but instead of going vertically, I'm transposing it and it's now moving horizontally. Colleagues, are you following? So basically, I am showing you how to paste on Excel, and just like Memspo has responded, your paste options, you decide which paste option works for you. I'm going to copy another aspect, but before I do that, I'm going to change this text just a little bit. I want to show you another paste option, and I'm going to make the font like that, and I'm going to change the font color to that. All right, then I'm going to highlight this text. Then I'm going to select copy. Then I'm going to click here, and I'm going to select paste. How do I, or which one do I select? So that I copy this text, it must also change font, and it must also change the font color. Which one do I select? Is it possible at all? Can I do that?
Yes, it is possible.
Which one do I select if it is possible? Okay, going to show you a trick. So if you select the first paste, by default, it copies the text as is. Now, you see, the next one is particularly for formulas. The rest of them, colleagues, come without the formatting, except for the one that says keep source formatting. The transpose one, by default, goes with the formatting. Then there is one for width of the column, or what do you call it? The column width. Then there is one that talks about the borders. You remove the borders in your pasting. Another error again. So these options depend on what you are looking to copy and paste. I won't lie, I've never used the ones that say paste as an image. Why would I paste data that I want to use in a spreadsheet as an image? How will I use it in a calculation? Doesn't make sense, right? Now, if you look at my cell here, where's the data disappeared to now? I want to know where that data is. I think it has changed font. Let me see, where is my data? Why is it blank? My data there is blank. Why is it blank? Give me a second. I want to figure out why it's blank. Yes, we said copy, and then we want to paste it there. With this one, it goes on blank. So why does it go blank? I don't want it to go blank. Why is my data blank when I paste here? Oh, okay, I see what it did here. This particular control is for copying the formatting. So if I enter data here, I'm sure it will be the same formatting as that one. Do you see that? So it doesn't copy the values, but it only copies the formatting. Colleagues, did you see that? They did not see that. Okay, and they are not concentrating. I'm going to enjoy marking the assessment and giving you wrongs. Yeah, it's going to be nice. Okay. Do you see the cut copy commands that I'm showing you, colleagues? I like that. Yes, says the one with the cry that says the assessment is going to kill me there. Okay. Can you please delete your sheets? You've pasted them in the charts. I like doing this in class. Imagine doing all this for nothing. You've just added sheets. Can you delete them now? I want to see only one sheet left. Want to know you can delete a sheet.
How to see if you can delete.
Delete all the sheets and
Oh, I
be
can
left with
understand.
one sheet and send another screenshot.
I couldn't delete my name.
So,
Delete all your sheets and leave only one. So I couldn't delete her once.
Delete all the sheets and leave only one. Just a second, colleagues. I'll be back now.
Good. Oh, yeah, nice. Yeah,
You guys know, oh, sorry. Do you ladies know what YOLO means? YOLO. Ma'am Pascalina, don't tell
Yeah.
them.
Sorry.
What does YOLO means? Mean.
You only live once.
Oh, Lulu, don't make that mistake. You live twice. Here and you live on the other side.
Assurance. Assurance. How do we know there's another side? That's the problem. Nobody. Oh, Send our greetings. Mr. D. Mr. D finished. Nami ngilambile. Ngisakhona uconcentrate. Yay. Wangena njani?
Yeah. Yeah. Chocolate.
Right, colleagues, apologies for that. I'm back. Colleagues, I am back. Mems Pure, why did you mute? I said you're not allowed to mute. I also want to put an order for coffee.
I say, we're talking lady stuff.
No, there's no talking. I want to be there. I want to know everything. Right. Are we taking a break at 12 now, or are we knocking off and meeting
Yes.
again next week?
12. Now we're looking at vote winner.
Are we knocking off now at 12, or are we taking lunch?
We are knocking off, say.
Knocking off now.
Yeah.
And Pascalina jumps. We are knocking off, say. We are knocking off. Right.
She's ready.
Then,
she's ready for the assessment.
I'm not ready for the assessment, man. I'm just saying. I'm feeling lightheaded, you.
okay. So what I'll do, colleagues, is I'm going to give you a lot of tasks to work on, right? And from my side, someone says no. Why do you say no?
We're saying you.
No, I thought you were saying no. Okay. I'm trying to decide how I want you to do this, right? I think the best thing is that I give you the learner guide and I tell you what tasks to do on the learner guide. Okay. There's a section in the learner guide that says work on your own. I think that's what I want to do. All right. So what I'll do, colleagues, and I will let you know in the group once I've done this particular task, I will add the learner guide to the portal, upload the learner guide to the portal, ask you to download it, and I'll give you page numbers to work on. Okay?
Okay.
That's, I think, the best thing to do. Otherwise, I'll spend 30 minutes here sitting with you guys and trying to get you guys to create spreadsheets and do that. And I've got only 2 minutes of today's session if we are knocking off now. Okay, so I think that's the best thing to do. I'll try and have the learner guide up by tomorrow morning, and I'll try and send the page numbers for you to work on by tomorrow morning. All the answers will be in the learner guide, so you shouldn't be battling with any of the tasks at all. But you only live once. But what if there is no other side? There's always another side. There's always two sides.
We are not sure.
There's always two sides. Do you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. Yes, I have a question. The learner guide is going to be on the portal.
I'll put it on the portal, then I will ask you guys to download it on the portal and do the page numbers. I will highlight as well. So the questions will be on the learner guide itself. Then I'll give you page numbers and I'll say, please do or the task on page 32 on the learner guide. Is that clear for all of us? Where's silence in court? I will tell you guys in the
WhatsApp. I don't know if it's your signal or it's mine. Eh?
What's wrong? What happens? Am I breaking or what's the scenario?
Yeah, cutting.
Okay. Can you see the message in the chat?
Can you see the message in the chat?
In the chat.
Mr. X is typing. He's typing.
He's typing.
I will upload the LG on the portal and share the page numbers. You do as homework, ladies. And then say, when is it due? Next month?
Never. It's true. Every day I want to see a page number. Every day until next week. You get a lot of work from me. Mhm.
So take it easy on us. Intermediate is hard.
I am not taking it easy. I was your friend in basic. On intermediate, we're not chummies anymore. I am very hard on you. And Excel will be even harder on us. So yeah, it's gonna be tough.
But why are we doing this intermediate? Because we are not doing career study, the finance and stuff.
And then Pascaline is a
No, but
Okay.
I'm just asking.
Ladies, I have to love you and leave you stressed. And let us meet next week on Tuesday.
yes.
So we're going home.
Is that when the homework is due next week?
No, the homework is due every Friday. So I want my emails to come in on Friday.
What? This Friday.
Yebu.
Yeah.
Tuesday in class, if you did not submit, don't come to class.
I didn't hear that one.
Miss Beach, I hope you heard me. If you don't submit on Friday, I don't want you in my class on Tuesday.
So say you can go home now.
No, you're not going home. Stay there and work. Next week, tell them not to disturb you. They can only talk to you at 1, not at 12, not before 12.
Too stressed to be too stressed.
You're too stressed to continue working. Saying on the
Go back to work,
Yeah.
and I'm going to send a message to the managers and tell them they are free now. Bother them. Ladies, thank you for being stressed with me today. I hope I have done a good intro, and I hope we can meet and continue again next week on Tuesday. Have a lovely morning and stay warm.
Monday was to speak.
Thank you for the lesson, Mr. X.
Thank you, Ma'am Spiwe.
Homework on Friday.
Cheers, colleagues.
Thank you so much. Day.
Sorry.
Thank you, Ma'am Pascalina. See you ladies on Tuesday.
Sure. Yes.